And welcome back to Questions from Quarantine. I'm here with Dr. Margaret Bourdeaux and Professor Juliette Kayyem of the Belfer Center at the Harvard Kennedy School. Our first topic this week is flu vaccines. It's getting a little chillier out there, so we're thinking about our flu vaccinations for the fall. I wanted to speak first with Dr. Bourdeaux and then with Professor Kayyem about what flu season is going to look like this year with COVID. Dr. Bourdeaux?
Well, there's a lot of speculation about what's going to happen here. Every year, of course, we see a spike in flu in the winter, and that's particularly concerning this year because, flu symptoms and COVID symptoms are very difficult to tell apart. It is rare, but sometimes you can be infected with both. And so we are heading into the season where we're going to see just a lot more viral and pulmonary illness. And we are basically going to subject the kind of fragile COVID response systems that we've put in place to a pretty big stressor. With the onset of flu. Now, some folks are saying, well, a lot of folks are still staying home, not going into work. Children are not going to necessarily be congregating in school, and they typically are a pretty big driver of a seasonal flu transmission. And so maybe we aren't, and people are going to be wearing masks, so maybe we're not going to see as much flu as we usually do because we're trying to address COVID. And then other folks are like, gosh, are you kidding me? We're going to see, this is going to be a really tough season to get through because people are going to be inside more and where everything spreads more. So we're all eyes are on flu for sure.
So this is proof that someone who is totally engaged can have misinformation. I don't think it's disinformation, but I was waiting till October with my family. It's September. What is it? Mid-September. Some reason I got it in my head that waiting was better. Like for some reason, October was the better time. Is that just total mythology? And I should just go
get your flu shot. You should absolutely go get your flu shot and get everyone their flu shot right now. The sooner the better. And I think that will, it's interesting at my work, it used to be that they would send around to all the doctors and the health workers like, oh, it would be good to get a flu vaccine. You guys need to prove to us that, you've gotten it. And every year things got stricter and stricter. And now if you do not get your flu vaccine, then you can be suspended from work. So the October deadline never occurred to me. I never heard that just because we started getting calls from work. Yeah, no, absolutely. It just is.
I'll go this weekend.
When I start getting the compliance emails from my employer.
Yeah.
So I usually go down. Honestly, I just go to CVS, which is right down the street, and pay a little money for it. But it's done, and
that's what I do. I take all the kids. I just walk down the street, grab a book. I will say just one thing on this compliance issue is exactly how I think the vaccination issue is going to come down. Well, we talked about it last week in terms of honesty and whatever, but at some stage, maybe mid next year. And I think a lot of the enforcement is not going to have to be government enforcement. It's going to be employers and schools. It's going to be, you can't come into the office or airlines until you have proof of vaccination. So you just make life more difficult, if not prohibitive for some people, which I think is great. Massachusetts just passed a law prohibiting attendance at schools without the flu vaccine, because there's some percentage that's going into schools this year, which I think is great.
That vaccine compliance issue, and we like to say adherence issue, is going to be a big thing in our lives, just like masks are, and every community and culture, goes through its own negotiation over what is required, what's not. But I'll tell you, I travel a lot before this, and, you step off a plane in Ghana and you better have your yellow fever vaccine record. They're not letting you in the country unless that's done. So these debates are not new. It's just the moment that's new. But I'll make a little bet with you, Juliette. Every year I try to take a picture of myself getting the flu vaccine. I know you sometimes do the same. So maybe next time when we meet, or maybe we'll give it 2 weeks, you and I, let's produce our picture of our getting of the vaccine.
I will do that. I'll do that this week. I think I'm looking at my calendar. I'll look at my calendar, but I think we can go on Friday, and I'll just take the kids to CVS and I'll take a picture.
Well, keep an eye out for those pictures. We're going to hold you both to that bet. Get your flu shot as soon as you can. Thank you so much. As always, #questions from quarantine for your chance to be answered next week.